Alright, so I'm gonna make this quick for the sake of the video. Hello, my name is Archer, obviously, as you guys know. You guys might know this guy called Afriel. Afriel is, or was, one of my friends. And recently, though, we've gotten into some drama, and it's a lot more than just a drama that we recently got into, because as you can see from what I'm literally looking at right now, it's pretty bad. But I'm here to basically literally expose them of the shit that they've done. Here are their profiles. They have a Twitter account, they have a Blue Sky account, TikTok, and 2 other accounts on Twitter that are their private account and their NSFW account. Afriel is known for their R-inspired and blog tales art on Twitter. His art's pretty good, but his personality is the complete opposite. If anyone's to blame for anything that happens to Afriel after, it would be me. As much as the people who got in here and did their part by getting evidence for me and helping me build this up, I will take the blame for everybody. I don't care. Some people have chosen to stay anonymous, so they will only be going by the first letters on their names. Here's a table of contents: general behavior, attention seeking or guilt tripping, empty threats, and faking insincere apologies. That word, NSFW talk with minors, and a conclusion. So here's chapter 1. This part doesn't necessarily have as much evidence because all of this happened in voice chat. I don't have an issue with Afriel opening the server to his Twitter followers, but the way he did and how he acted towards his true friends afterwards is what bugs me. The server originally was just a friend server, as said in the title. However, out of nowhere, he decided to open the server to his Twitter followers. Again, no issue with that. But he didn't even provide options at all, like whether to make a new server or just leave it as is. He didn't even ask if any of us were comfortable with the big sudden change. I get that it is his server, but it's like being the manager of a job. If you want people to actually work for you, make sure the environment is up to their standards, just so that everyone is happy. Otherwise, you will lose employees and you won't get paid. He didn't check on any of us to make sure that we were okay and comfortable with the big change. After opening the server, a bunch of people complained about it being overstimulating, and I understand that completely. I was beyond overstimulated as well, but what could I do? I was just a moderator in a server, and that has no say in what the server owner does. Speaking of that, completely after opening the server, he treated me and a few of his close friends as nothing but moderators and fans of his server. We were suddenly put to work and discarded immediately as he basked in the attention he was getting from his fans. There's no set evidence on this matter, but if you ask anyone else who was treated the same way, they'll agree. This is section 1, by the way. This is just opening his friend Discord server to the public. This is section 2, being rude to people. There's no screenshot of this either, but this follows up on the previous claim. He treated his friends as just fans and moderators for his server. He also lashed out on many of us for no reason other than stuff going on at home. I understand people have tough lives, but if you know you will lash out, then don't join voice chats and make sure you're calm and collected. Most of these situations happen in voice chat without recordings to follow up. Just ask other people involved and you'll get the same response. Section 3, replacing. This has a good amount of evidence. Once we were disregarded, Afriel immediately replaced us with another friend group, and one of the people in there is named Alec. Now, I have nothing against Alec, since I personally never argued with him. I'm putting the blame on Afriel completely for all of this. Having replacements during situation is fine, whatever. The only issue is that he was making a big deal out of it, and he replaced us within a single day. That proves that we meant absolutely nothing to him, and we're only friends just to be friends. That really hurts, and it didn't just hurt me, it hurt a couple of other people too. It made us question if we were ever truly friends with Afriel in the first place. Immediately after as well, Afriel replaced F, his ex, within the span of 2 days with Alec. They're already shipping their sonas together, drawing out of them kissing, and even calling each other husbands. He was also really petty by blocking me on TikTok and even removing FKV and I from his server. That just proves more that he didn't want to be friends with us and only saw us as moderators and fans. This is said by V. I'm not gonna, obviously, they're anonymous. I'm gonna keep it as is. By no means is making new friends after falling out with the original friend group a bad thing. However, when we confronted about this behavior prior, Afriel established clearly that he valued us as friends and wanted to continue our friendship. He also stated repeatedly that he thought that he didn't deserve to be friends with us and that we were too good for him. These statements were quickly undermined because in around the span of a week, Afriel had essentially replaced all of us. Most importantly, he had gotten over and shrugged off every single living concern we had brought forward about his subpar behavior. Notably, Afriel replaced his romantic partner seeming 3 days after Afriel's ex, they want to be anonymous, had broken up with him. While these are just observations on their own, when put together, several conclusions can be drawn about the legitimacy of his prior statements. Afriel has probably been lying from his asshole about caring about his friendship with us, likely trying to guilt us into staying. This, or he was only attached to the feeling of having friends instead of valuing all of us as a real, genuine human being. This will explain how he got everything and how he got over everything in such a fast time frame. Either way, pretty fucking scummy. Even from the start, I doubt that this man saw us as anything more than assets willing to feed him attention. Considering the thoughtless damage he caused to our self-esteem and the blatant lack of consideration for anyone but himself, it's likely that both possibilities are true. He's ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. V is a very much good explainer than I am. He uses, they use a bunch of like, I guess, descriptive stuff. It's really easy to get what they're going at, so props to them. Here are screenshots. Let me zoom in real quick. You guys can pause on these because I'm not gonna like read them out. This one specifically right here, because he knew I had access to his private account. This is his private account. He knew that I would see this, and I'm going to assume that this was in hopes for me to feel guilty and tell everybody so that we could go back and stay with him. Now here, Chapter 2, Attention-Seeking, Guilt-Tripping. This chapter has a bunch of evidence. This is Section 1, Guilt-Tripping. Before I get into this, let me explain some of the context. On October 14th, Afriel and Alec were talking in the awe-inspired thread they have on the server. They kept talking about poop and fart jokes, and personally I did not find it funny due to them being grown adults who are saying this shit. I shouldn't have crashed out as bad as I did when it happened. It's just that it was really early in the morning and I can't handle this shit early in the day. Maybe give me a couple hours and I'll be like, hey, this shit's kind of funny. But either way, these are grown adults doing this. It's not okay. It's not weird because you can have your fun. I don't care. But if people clearly don't think it's funny, then stop. Then don't continue it. Anyways. However, I let them have their fun. Then they decided to go into general chat and ask if people fucked with those kind of jokes. After, they kept making the jokes over and over, resulting in me crashing out. Cross-out names are not a part of any of this. The ones marked as witnesses are witnesses. As you can tell, Alec is right there. Afriel's right there too. S was the main part of the situation. We both didn't find the joke funny, and I ended up apologizing for lashing out. That was immature of me, but S understood and so did others. After talking about the whole situation for a bit, Afriel came and proceeded to say this. Yada yada. S and I immediately knew that this was purely just to get us to feel bad, but it didn't work. However, this isn't the only guilt tripping part. When we confronted him later on October 14th, my friend V and I went to F. They want to remain anonymous. F is Afriel's partner, now ex-partner since they had broken up after everything. We talked to F about it, and F ended up confronting Afriel themselves while V guided him and I went to go shower. Throughout the entire conversation, Afriel guilt-tripped F multiple times as shown on the following screenshots. After F confronting Afriel and Afriel's constant playing victim card, F got fed up with the behavior and told V and I to take over. I ended up making a group chat to also confront Afriel with V, and again, he begins to guilt trip as shown in these screenshots. This is Section 2, Attention-Seeking, Trigger Warning, Faking, and empty threats. When this whole situation began, Afriel immediately went to the announcement channel in his server to semi-explain what was going on and how he was quote-unquote feeling. This was later confirmed to be just for attention when we talked one-on-one in DMs. Here's that screenshot. During the confrontation that F had with Afriel continuously kept threatening that he would, and that we were better off without him. F tried to tell him no and also told him to knock it off, but Afriel just continued. Here's a screenshot. The underlying sentence is also proof that he wanted our attention on the fact that he was going to, Chapter 3, Insincere Apologies. A bunch of evidence here. When we confronted Afriel, we got nothing but a simple sorry instead of a full-blown apologies. I understand that during the time he may have been upset or maybe was just stubborn to apologize, but fucking apologize. It's a basic human need. It's a basic human thing that we need. If you don't know how to accept the fact that you're wrong, then I have no hopes on him getting a decent job in the future. It was only after profuse begging that he actually apologized, but honestly, that probably wasn't sincere either. Here's some screenshots. Oh yeah, by the way, I apologized to F already. That is a lie. I went to F about this, and they said that Afriel did not apologize to them at all. This was the quote-unquote actual apology right here, this one. This chapter is pretty short, there's not much. But now here's chapter 4. That and NSFW, discussing NSFWs with minors. This has a bunch of evidence. Discussing NSFW with minors. To make this simple, as the section has a bunch of evidence, Afriel has discussed just the topics to me and a few others. I was a victim along with V and 3 others who like to stay anonymous. They will be known as K, H, and J. Here are the screenshots of him discussing NSFW with me. This is me. Yes, he's talking about Chaser and Akira from Deep Woken. I will say that I did talk about all of this with him, but I was heavily influenced. Now that is an excuse, so I sincerely apologize for not noticing that this behavior shouldn't be promoted. I take the blame for letting him continue this. Now here's screenshots of him discussing NSFW with H, along with extra notes from H. The like Gabriel and Vincent, these are Afriel and H's OCs. Important to know that Vincent at the time was still my character, and I have since given him fully to Afriel, which was when the NSFW really died down. And also that despite being minors in the screenshots, he continues to talk about that sort of stuff after he was 18. I'm glad H knew that this was wrong and tried to get Afriel to shut up about it. However, Afriel continued and kept pushing as shown. What was worse, H told their age way before, H told Afriel their age way before even speaking about this stuff. At the time, H was 17 while Afriel was 17. Wait. H was 14 while Afriel was 17. Minors talking about NSFW. When Afriel was discussing NSFW with me, I was 15 while Afriel was 18. Here's a screenshot. Section 2. Sending NSFW art to minors. Heavy NSFW ahead. As the title states, Afriel sent NSFW art that he made to minors such as V, H, and K. V, H, K, and I. Along with that, Lex chose... I went to Lex about this. Lex, I know Lex was suddenly popped up, but they said, hey... I don't care. I just want to be of help. You can show my name. I'm like, okay. So V, Lex, K, and I were given access to Afriel's NSFW account, as shown at the very start of this document. We are only 15 to 16 years of age. Here's a screenshot of Afriel sending NSFW art to me. Again, I apologize dearly for allowing Afriel to continue this. I should not have allowed him to keep doing this, as this is literally illegal. This all could have been prevented if I said something. Now here's Afriel showing NSFW art to H. Here's a screenshot of Afriel sending NSFW to K. Section 3, talking blank with a minor. Now, this is from a server I'm not in. This server is J's server, and F is also in there. F gave me the screenshot of Afriel talking blank to a minor. The minor confirmed that they were 14 while Afriel was 18. Here's the screenshots. Section 4, general NSFW ahead. Afriel has made NSFW multiple times, especially of Roblox characters and OCs as shown. Recently, he began doing NSFW of characters in this game called Are Inspired on Roblox. He claimed 1, that he never drew NSFW, and 2, that he would never draw NSFW on game characters, claiming that it's disgusting. Here's proof of that. However, this solely conflicts with the following screenshots of the stuff that he has drawn of Are Inspired characters. Another thing that I feel like I should add is that Sorty, the blue character in the screenshot from above, that one right there, is one of Afriel's favorite characters in the game Are Inspired. He claimed that Sorty is his son and loves him dearly. However, if someone is your son, would you draw an SFW of them, even if it's a fictional character? Would you? I wouldn't. I'm sure other people wouldn't. Why are you doing this? Here's some more stuff he drew on Sorty, and also him saying that Sorty is his son. So right here, you can see that he says, my beautiful son, and then here's a bunch of the NSFW stuff that he drew. He also drew an NSFW of his own Blocktails OC that shipped with Jay's OC. Jay had no idea he made something like that and only found out when I brought it up. Mind you, Jay is also a minor. Here's a conversation on that. Section 5, regarding his Twitter account. His Twitter account has no restrictions at all. It doesn't say 18 plus or if it's meant for everyone, including minors. However, Afriel likes to post some suggested things on his account without warning. Yes, they may be harmless jokes, but nowadays kids can get their hands on any social media platform. Social media is not safe for little kids who have no idea what they're doing. Here are some examples of what Afriel has posted. Just an extra thing to add, Afriel was called out before in similar actions. However, this one, Afriel was 16. He was drawing SFW as a minor and even lied about his age to date, an 18-year-old. I will show the parts of the document and his response to it. Afriel at the time used to go by Nova and Nev, so the username will be completely different, NSFW ahead. Now, I cannot fully believe, I do not expect you guys to fully believe that the person in these screenshots as Nova or Nev are the same, is the same person as Afriel. But no matter what, with the previous evidence shown, either way, he's a bad person. But I can assure you that Afriel and Nev in these screenshots are the same exact person. You can even tell, kind of, from the art, that it's still Afriel. This is his response. Now, here's a conclusion. In conclusion, Afriel is not a safe person to be friends with or let alone be around with. They will immediately replace you with someone new and also disregard your boundaries. He only treated us as fans rather than friends and has hurt many people's feelings in the process. I have no clue if he changed, but I doubt he did since he didn't give a sincere apology at all. Just a heads up, do not harass anyone mentioned in this document. This is just to inform people on how Afriel truly is. Also, don't go around saying, oh, I can't enjoy his content anymore. Genuinely shut the fuck up. Afriel is not a good person and shouldn't be forgiven easily or forgiven at all. Also, everyone mentioned are minors besides Alec, Afriel, and F. The rest of us are teenagers. I would like to thank those who have provided me with the evidence and helped me out with this document. You guys are forever held close to my heart. Thank you so much. Afriel, if you are reading this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you didn't know how to properly act. I cannot be blamed for any of this. No one but you can be blamed for this. Even if you own up now, none of us will forgive you. You had your chances and you didn't take them. I hope you realize your wrongdoings and genuinely change. And that's pretty much it. That's it on this entire document. Yeah. I just came on here to let you guys know because Afriel should not have a platform. I don't care how good his art is. He does not deserve a platform. Thank you and goodbye.